MrBeast allegedly made $10 million on crypto projects while his followers lost. Let's jump into it. I'm Brett at CryptoGX, and in this video, we're getting into MrBeast and the alleged crypto fraud that may or may not have happened depending on your view of fraud. And we're going to go into exactly what happened with these projects that he talked about online that then he made a bunch of money from, and then other people online lost because they, saw him touting it. So let's jump into it. So we're going to go into this thread by SomaXBT, and it's kind of an investigation into all the things that MrBeast has talked about and done based on his crypto portfolio. It does get into some jargon here, so I'm going to simplify it for you as we go through this. Now, basically to start, this thread claims that MrBeast made over $10 million backing these small crypto tokens during 2021. These projects were from IDO offerings, which is an initial DEX offering, which basically means it's kind of like an ICO or an IPO where they're initially offering the coins, but it's on a decentralized exchange. Big influencers were also a part of this, promoting these projects. People like KSI, Lark Davis, Crypto Banter, and the large majority of these coins crashed 90% or more, or they rebranded to something else after investors lost a ton of money. So here the investigation tracks a wallet that's labeled MrBeast on a site called Arkham Intelligence. Now this is basically verified that it's his holding, it's his token history, it matches his public blockchain data. It's not rumors. Arkham tags his wallet directly, showing that it's him. Now SuperFarm DAO is one of these projects that is talked about, and it's now called Superverse. MrBeast invested $100,000 into this super DAO, and there's proof from a live stream by this person, Elio Trades, where it shows a DM from MrBeast talking about the investment. So we know he put in 100 grand, but that's only the start of where things kind of get sketchy. Now the blockchain shows the full path. As many of us know, the blockchain is a public record of transactions that happen within any particular chain, any project, anything like that. It can show who is doing what, who is buying and selling what, and transferring and all those good things. You can see here the $100,000 that was sent from MrBeast's wallet right here in red. You can see that it was sent to the SuperFarm wallet. And then you can see right here on the top here that he received 1 million super tokens. This is a classic early investor move. You send in funds, you get a big token allocation before the public does. Now you can see MrBeast tweeted support for the project right here on March 4th of 2021, replying with the eye emoji to a now deleted SuperFarm DAO post. Basically, he knew what he was doing with this, or at least whoever was running the social media account knows what they were doing. He publicly teased involvement with this project, which boosted the hype, and then right after, the real money moves started. So this part of the thread is the timeline of the sell-off. He moved the 1 million super tokens to a different wallet. That wallet sold everything in 751 different trades. It netted 1,900 Ethereum, which was $3.7 million. Here is the ledger of the trades right here. This is a big red flag. He buys early, he hypes it up, and then dumps millions back to Binance. Retail investors then get left holding onto these coins that then drop in value. Now here we have another investment. This one is for Polychain Monsters. They now call it Protocol Mon. He invested $25,000 and then he made $1.7 million. Now you can see how bad this project was in another thread by someone called ZachXBT. Now, if you want to know more about Polychain Monsters, you can let me know in the comments, but you can see on a thread from ZachXBT all of the detail of that particular project and how bad that was. Now, as you can see from the on-chain data, MrBeast's wallet sent in $25,000, that he got 25,000 PMON tokens. He sold for 685 Ethereum, which looks like it was valued at $1.3 million. And then again, he later received more PMON tokens and then dumped them for about $385,000. Now, obviously, we see a trend here. This happened again with a coin called ShopX by Split. Now it's called ShopX Labs. He invested another $25,000. He sold the tokens for $765,000 in this one, and still holds an amount that's worth about $600. But obviously making $740,000 for basically doing nothing is a big deal. You can see again the blockchain data for these ShopX trades. He receives the 607,000 tokens, transfers, sold 120,000 of them, cashed out in Ethereum. Every single dump of these perfectly lines up with the market peaks, so it's hard to call all of these a coincidence. And it didn't stop. They kept going. Here's another one called Stack. 15 million tokens moved, then sold off. He made $1.25 million here. Now this one doesn't have any direct promotion, but the timing and the Binance deposits really suggests a sort of insider knowledge to these projects. We've got another one called Virtue Poker with VPP coin. He joined a poker tournament promotion. He got 600,000 of these coins, sold 200,000 of the transaction transaction log is right here. It's on a smaller scale, but the pattern is the same. The token allocations are tied to some sort of influencer partnership. And that begs the question, is this ethical? That brings us to the market impact. So the super coin from that peak is down 75%. Others are down 90 to 95%. Every one of these projects has collapsed after the insiders exited. They got their coins, they bought at the peak, and then exited their positions by selling. Retail buyers who trusted these influencers and trusted all of the hype that they said about these coins are getting crushed, or they got crushed years ago. Now, the crazy thing is there was a leak. So this is a leaked message exposing MrBeast. It says we've done in the crypto market. If we did it in the stock market, the SEC would be after us. That's straight from someone in the same circle as MrBeast. It doesn't show who they are, but basically even the insiders are admitting that this would be illegal if it were stocks. Now, MrBeast did not limit this to the crypto market, or at least cryptocurrencies. He also did this with NFTs. He spent about 1.25 million on NFTs, publicly supported Gary Vee's VeeFriends. So he basically just did all this to play the game with tokens. He jumped into NFTs too. He boosted hype for projects that were backed by his influencer network. And it's all just basically influencer manipulation, because when people follow these influencers and they tout these projects, everybody jumps in because they think everybody's going to jump in, which then they do. And then the influencer is like, great, thanks for the money. And then they sell their position and dip out. So clearly this pattern shows coordinated early access, insider hype, and massive sell-offs. Retail investors end up losing out, and then the influencers profit. Now, he's got a donation address here. If you want to donate to him for doing all this research, that would be fantastic. Feel free to. But essentially what he's saying here is that this is the crypto version of insider trading. It's unregulated and it's shady. Now, it's not technically illegal in crypto at the moment, but it does look pretty sketchy and bad ethically. If you promote a project and your followers trust you and then they buy it and then you secretly sell off because of that hype, that's a betrayal of that trust. Now, MrBeast obviously is known for his generosity, but this whole trend right here really blurs that line and kind of paints a different picture of his generosity and, care for other people. In crypto, transparency really matters, and influence comes with a huge amount of responsibility. So, what do you think? Do you think these people should have any sort of repercussions? Do you think we should have more regulations on these kinds of actions with, the SEC and the government making basically these kinds of things illegal so people don't do them? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to get some crypto of your own, I'll leave links to Coinbase and Crypto.com in the description, where you can get at least $50 in free crypto just for signing up with those links. And if you want to get into meme coins, I'll leave a link to MoonShot, where you can claim some free meme coins just for signing up. If you like this video, make sure to hit that like button so others can find it, and make sure to subscribe to stay tuned for all things crypto. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.